Welcome everybody to the Tarotscopes for January 2023, along with our mini card reading for our 4 subjects. Tonight we have love, money, health, and spirituality. So again, what I'd say to you is, if you stumbled across this section of readings, you can think of a question and decide what pile you'd like to use for your answer. You're probably not here by mistake. So I'm just going to get 3 cards for each of these subjects. So this one is love. Oh, these 3 are together. That'll be our money. These 3 are together for health. And these 3 are together for spirituality. So put these aside. All right, so I'm going to read love first. And we have the Knight of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and the 3 of Wands. So whenever we have swords, we know there's a little bit of a struggle. We can see that the 9 of Wands person is pretty worried too. So let's remember that this love and relationship reading could be a personal relationship. It can also be a family relationship. So what I'm going to say is, whatever it is that you are worried about, you've come by naturally. The 3 of Wands monetarily is an inheritance card. But when I'm reading it for a relationship answer, I see it as thought processes or emotional kind of energies that we've inherited, the way we understand things, the way our character was built. So I'm going to say that in the relationship front or on the love front, there's something that needs to be brought to justice or brought to balance or worked through in a way that holds people accountable, but also releases the stress and upsetting energy from the situation. So it could be something that the other party has come by naturally, and it's how they're sort of programmed, or I know there's a saying like, oh, that's their love language. They do that, that's their love language. Then it may not be being received very well by the party who's so upset. So I know Mercury's going retrograde, and that's going to make things a little difficult for communication, but Mars is going direct, so that should help with the aggression side of things. But I would say whatever's going on in this relationship that's really bringing the stress and worry needs to kind of come to the table where it can be worked out fairly, and parties can be held accountable for their actions and non-actions. All right, next up is our money cards. All right, so we have 2 knights, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups. So this is a very, very positive financial reading. And it looks like it's something, because of this guy, something financially that's been really slow coming, but now some news is going to come through, break through, and this could be a really good contract. It could be a new partnership or an alliance, or some person that's going to help you and make an offer for you financially or career-wise. So these are 3 very good cards. Even though the Knight of Pentacles looks like he's all weighed down and really slow, it's something that has been invested in. There's been time, effort, energy, and now you're looking forward to the messages coming that make you that offer. And if we look at this card, it's really funny because this card is more of a relationship card. It's the marriage card, but because it's here in an answer to our finance or career question, I'm going to say that this is some sort of long-term commitment or contract that is coming to you that you could make the best use of. Okay, health-wise, after we've all indulged in everything that's been going on with the holidays. Okay. I feel like this is an issue that has to do with mind over matter. Many times when we are not feeling well, or we've been labeled with a particular diagnosis, even if it is a life-threatening one, we have to make a choice whether to invest in being ill or well. So because this card, the Eight of Pentacles, is like being self-employed, I think this is about taking a really good look at the self and how you're treating yourself and how you're thinking about yourself. You know, are you sitting there going, I can't get up, I can't do this, I can't do that, this is no good and that is no good, and kind of like pulling in the toxic energies that do have a physical effect eventually? I think you need to take control of what's going on, do some research, and then I do think there is going to be a very positive growth or overcoming of that illness or unwellness. The health question can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be something that's going on mentally, but whatever is going on with us spiritually, mentally, or emotionally does eventually sit in our physical body. And I know some people who have kind of fallen into a very toxic space, and then what's happened is they've become unwell and in some cases immobile. So, you know, no matter what it is you're facing, whatever challenge it is you're facing, or how down you feel, look for something that you can connect to that's positive, that can help you to have hope for the future and hope for wellness, and bring about the positive change that you want. And then invest in yourself. You know, set a new schedule, or make sure that you are eating well, and make sure that what you're feeding your mind is positive as well. I have seen miracles happen through prayer and positive thinking. So if you are facing some sort of health challenge, invest in yourself and have a positive mindset. Okay, next we have our spirituality. Oh my goodness. We have the Two of Wands and the Two of Cups. So both of those are interesting. Two twos are about, again, kind of partnerships and connections. And this is Archangel Gabriel. And you see he's got the red cross and he's kind of like resurrecting people. So I think that our spiritual cards are telling us to think back a little bit about the last time we felt we had an aha moment. What did we discover? What did we connect to? What did we understand? That then maybe we kind of let fall by the way a little bit. So I'm not saying that you have to go backwards, but I'm saying look to the past and something that you kind of left behind, and resurrect that and do your research and dive in and reconnect with it. And I really think you're going to discover something amazing. All right, so those are the readings. And now I'm going to get on to the Tarotscopes. So, you know, this is my over 50 headband now, and I need this for reading, even though I've printed it very big. So again, these are the Tarotscopes for January 2023. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. I think things are going to get quite exciting. I always start with sort of the highlights and the challenges. So the Mercury retrograde that has just begun, because I'm recording this in the end of December, the Mercury retrograde is going to end on January 19th. But the shadow will remain throughout the end of the month. And for people who don't know what that means, Mercury gets to a certain point and then it goes retrograde. And even though it's going to go direct, it doesn't completely get out of our way until it gets back to the point that it was in, the degree it was in when it went retrograde. So we have to kind of wait it out through the end of the month to really see positive movement. But around the 19th or 20th, you should notice some things lifting. Venus is also going to be pulling away from Pluto. Pluto's in Capricorn and Venus has been in Capricorn at nearly the same degree. But we're going to see Venus pulling away and moving into Aquarius. So things should get easier relationship-wise towards the end of January, and make us feel a little more comfortable kind of, having energy to give other people. Again, Mars is going to finally go direct, but it's been retrograde since October. So again, we'll feel a little boost of energy from that great endurance planet, but it won't get out of the shadow for quite some time. Uranus also exits its August retrograde. It's been in retrograde in Taurus, and this should help clear up some chaotic energy. I'm sure we've all kind of felt like we're mired under layers of things we can't quite figure out. But the big news really for January is that the new moon on January 21st will usher us into the Chinese New Year. We'll be leaving behind the year of the water tiger. And remember I said back a year ago that water tiger, if we kind of looked at tiger as that Leo sort of energy, and the water energy as like Piscean, it was drama, 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 no offense to either of those signs. But you had these two kind of polar opposite energies, tiger, aggression, forward movement, get it done, with water, which is much slower at getting the job done. It can still wear a hole in a rock, but I think it was a bit of a conflicting energy. And now we're moving into the year of the water rabbit. And this is really going to help us to set intentions and to deal with and overcome fears and worries and figure out productive ways to move forward. All right, so here's the individual scopes. And please, if you know your rising sign, listen to that scope too, because it certainly could speak to you through house placement. Aries, the Fool. Some wonderful energy is coming into your space. Take the time to harness it and make the most of it. Jupiter, the great benefic, the planet of expansion, is moving into Aries and will allow you the confidence you seek to take your steps forward. The Fool is here to remind you that the saddest words are what might have been. So go for it. Take that leap of faith, Aries, and you will love it. You will either learn to fly or you will have a peaceful, safe landing in that new spot. Taurus, Judgment. Taurus, I know you are just as hard on yourself as you are on others. And I also know some folks not really able to get you, They may think that you're being too critical or too judgmental, or maybe that's because you are your own worst critic. Maybe they're just catching up with what you're putting out for yourself. I know it does take a lot for you to openly tell someone that you feel like they're being lazy or unreasonable or that they lack integrity. This month you may have a few folks that you need to take for a walk through the garden of enlightenment so they do get it. Tough love's okay. Gemini, Ace of Cups. Maybe, just maybe, with Mars going direct in your sign, you'll be able to slow down a little bit and let yourself catch up with things. It seems like every time you get a handle on things, another 10 things fly into your orbit that seem to want immediate attention. I think this month will offer you some time to exhale, some time to regroup and recoup and make a workable schedule so that things can start happening in positive ways again. Cancer, 10 of Swords. There are a lot of things that you can ignore. Loads of things you'll just get over or get through. Several things you might write off as a lesson. And a few things you'll spend time on to work out for the sake of others. But this month, something may have been put on your plate that you will not ignore. You can't ignore it. And you will have to work through it. You may just have to call it what it is. Sadly, a betrayal. You may have to divorce a friend or family member over this. It may just not be one of those things you get through, one of those things you ignore. Could be a big thing, a deal breaker, something you refuse to just let break you. You're going to divorce it instead. 3 of Swords for Leo. This might be the time that you allow yourself to release all that you've been holding on to. You've been so strong for so long, dear Leo. You have held it all together for many folks around you, and you've managed to cope with grace under pressure. Offer compassion. So now it's time to give yourself permission to release. Maybe it's a good cry. Maybe there's some sort of special healing treatment that you go to. Whatever you deem to be of value to you to lift off some of that heavy stuff and let it go. You know, maybe for you, you just want to scream or punch a pillow. Just do it. Let yourself release. Virgo, Queen of Wands. So much temptation. I see you being challenged by the very things you've been working to release, ignore, or put behind you once and for all. It's not easy to make changes, even if those changes are for the highest good or for your healing. Work to remember why you wanted to make the change in the first place, why you wanted to heal that thing, and try to understand that sometimes challenges are present, just so the universe is sure we're willing to do the work to reach the goal. Libra, the star. There is always hope. You may have been feeling like so much has been beyond your control. And to a certain extent that might be true. But you have a gift, Libra. You have Libra's magic. And that is the gift of being the unwavering optimist. You know your thoughts count. Your insights matter. Your words are important. And you, Libra, you can manifest things. Use this wonderful energy this month. Draw back your magic. Use it. Bring hope and use your ability. Think things through and think them into being. Scorpio, the lovers. Many times we think we're alone, or we feel like we've been distanced from our friends and our social life. And I understand that these past couple of years have made it difficult to stay connected or be in touch with people. Not to mention that you kind of like your time alone. But the point is, this month you should experience some sort of opening or reawakening. A reset, if you will. A way back to social activity. And a knowing that you have friends of all kinds in all places that would love your company. Sagittarius, King of Pentacles. Any investments made this month will pay out very well. If it's financial, expect to build yourself a windfall. If it's your health, expect to reach some wellness goals. If it's in your spirituality sector, expect expect a breakthrough. And if it's a relationship, expect to connect on an even deeper level in meaningful ways. Make that investment. The only way something good will not happen for you is if you become still and do not take any steps to make any real effort of an investment in your life. Capricorn, 5 of Pentacles. I know it seems like you have never really gotten out of the challenge phase that Pluto's brought to you, but this month might be even more challenging. I suspect a sibling or a family member who's not necessarily a parent will be making things difficult for several members within your family. You may be the one who's called upon for your diplomatic skills. You might be the person chosen to speak to the disruptor. Try to be calm and not let emotions rule you. I know it might be hard, but I said things might be challenging. Aquarius, Queen of Swords. A difficult decision is up for finalizing. Take a deep breath, Aquarius, and let yourself go back over the facts. As only an Aquarian can do, I know I live in my head a lot, have that debate in your mind. The debate where you defend both sides. And try not to let yourself be swayed unless you are truly behind that particular choice. Once you've weighed all the facts again, I really do think something will stand out to help you know you have the right information and are making a well-informed decision. Pisces, King of Swords. A legal matter or difficult dispute should be coming to a close. If you have not been involved in any sort of dispute, you may still notice that things are settling down for a much less chaotic time. Some balanced energy will be offered to help you get things to run quite a lot smoother and allow you to relax a little bit and be able to make a plan to enjoy the new year ahead. I'd also like to let everybody know that Anton and I are going to go back to a weekly program. Some of you might remember we had 11sies that we did every morning, and then we were doing weekly card readings on Wednesday nights, and things just kind of got a little crazy. But we've set some positive intentions for the new year, and we've decided that we are going to do Monday Magic. So starting on January 2nd, on Mondays on this channel, we're going to have Monday Magic. It'll be kind of a mix of all the things that maybe you really came to love over the past shows. 11sies was information and like a talk show. And the readings that we did in the evenings, we'll have some readings splattered in there. Of course, we might talk about astrology. There's all kinds of things that we have planned for Monday Magic. So with any luck, you'll be able to find us here on Mondays at noon Eastern Standard Time. We really look forward to getting back to chatting with everybody and seeing everybody on the channel. Happy New Year, everyone. Peace and brightest blessings.